Welcome everyone. Today we move beyond the basics of the party monkey and use our skills to build a 3D snowman. We will focus on precisely moving, rotating and scaling different shapes to create a complex model. So let's start. First, launch Blender, then File, New, General, and what we need to do is to clear our workspace. Remember to delete the default cube by left-clicking it and then pressing X, and then delete. Make sure you switch to rendered mode, so again, like the last time, up in the corner, the rendered circle, which is in the viewport shading section. And this will be so that we can see our colours and lighting as we go through our work. We will use UV spheres for the body, so go to Add, then Mesh, and then UV sphere. This will be for the body. Now we need to create another sphere for the head, so do the same again, Add, Mesh, UV sphere. With the second one selected, and also selecting the Move tool, which is 4 arrows coming outwards from the middle on the left-hand side, click on the blue vertical arrow and drag it upwards. The next thing we want to do is to resize it. So we're going to scale. To scale, select the S button and then move the mouse towards the center to shrink it. If it feels like it's growing too fast or shrinking too fast, press Escape and move your mouse further away before trying it again. Let's click away. So now we have the body and the head. Let's now zoom in. To do this, roll the mouse wheel forward. And we now want to add a carrot nose. So to do this, we're not going to add a UV sphere this time, we're going to add a cone. And again, it's going to be Add, Mesh, but this time, Cone. Let's shrink it, so Scale, and then as before, roll your mouse towards the center of the cone, and then we wish to move it. Let's move it into place using the blue vertical arrow. It's likely that the nose is going to be pointing the wrong way initially. Select Rotate, and then use the green circle, tilt it forwards, and then looking at this now, I could also do with moving it to the center of the top sphere, the sphere for the head. Then click away. If we then rotate the shape, we just want to see, is the nose within the head or sticking out outside the head? Let's go to the viewpoint section and swivel around. And what I can see at the moment is the nose is actually within the head rather than being on the outside of it. So, to rectify that, select Cone on the right hand side, and then we want to bring it outwards. And rotate again. That for the moment looks about right, but I'm still not convinced I'm in the center of the head. So, the Move tool, and then let's just grab it and move it more to the center of the head. Okay, that's looking a little better. Now for the details. We're going to add more small spheres for buttons and eyes, and a cone for the hat. And let's zoom in first. Roll your mouse wheel forward. And then pan, which is shift, and press your mouse wheel, and then drag down with your mouse. Okay, let's create our first sphere, which will be for the eye on the left as we're looking at it on the screen. Add, mesh, UV sphere. We're going to want to resize this. So again, scale, and then make it much smaller. And then we want to drag it into position. The eye we've created is actually inside the head, so we need to bring that outwards. So use the red arrow, bring it further forward, and then move it upwards. Maybe this is a bit too far forward, so let's move it backwards a little bit. Okay, now we have that in place, the first eye, we want to copy and paste and then move across. So right click, copy, right click, paste. And then move across so that one is also in place. We now have two eyes. Next thing, we want to create 3 buttons. Well, the buttons are going to be very, very similar to the eyes. So select one of the eyes, copy, and then paste 3 times. Paste, paste, paste. Now we should have 3 extra copies on top of the eye. So let's move the first one into place as a button. Let's move the second one into place as a button. And then the third one into place as the third button. What we're going to see is these buttons, they are too far in front of the body. So let's rotate the object using the viewpoint. And now let's move those buttons into place. Let's take the first button and move it into place. The second button, and again move it into place. And the third button, and let's also put that into place. Okay, let's rotate and let's see what it looks like. Not quite straight. Let's straighten them up. Okay, let's rotate and make sure that everything looks just about right. Okay, next we need to add some colour. And for this we're going to need the Materials tab, which is down here. Materials is the red button at the bottom on the right hand side of the screen. So let's select the eye, then select Material, New, and we want to call it Coal. Press enter. And we need to select a color for this. We want it to be black. So click in the white section next to base color. And to the right of the color wheel, drag down to the bottom to make the color black. Okay, now we want to do exactly the same to the white eye and the 3 white buttons. So select the other white eye, select material, and this time, instead of adding anything new, let's browse the material we want to link. And we will have coal available. Then do the same for the other 3 buttons. Okay, now the nose we wish to be a carrot color. So select the nose, this time in material, add new, give it a name of, let's say, carrot, press enter. Then for the base color, select in the white section, and this time we want a color that's similar to a carrot color. Maybe something like that. Then click away. And now let's rotate to see what this looks like so far. Okay, looking good, but it needs a hat. Let's pan down again. So again, it's Shift, press your mouse wheel and drag downwards. Let's give some room for this hat. We'll use a cone for the hat, so add, mesh, cone. Let's first of all drag it into position. Let's zoom out. That's mouse wheel towards you. And let's resize it. So again, this is scale, press S, and then move inwards. And it may be worth rotating as well. We can use the rotate on the left-hand side. And I'm going to tilt it backwards using the green circle. It could do with being further forward. So select move. And let's bring it nearer to us. And then it still needs resizing. So scale with an S. And let's make it a little smaller. Then click away. The hat, I think, would look nice red. So let's select the hat, material. We're going to need a new color. Let's give its name hat. Press enter. And then for the base color, let's go for a red. And then click away. The only thing we've not done is put in arms. For this, let's use cylinders. So, add, mesh, and then cylinder. This cylinder is clearly too big and in the wrong place. So first, let's move it so it's out of the way. And then let's resize it. S for scale, and then roll your mouse so it is much smaller. Okay, now we want to position this so that it can be one of the arms. It does look a bit too thick. If we click on transform, we can actually make this thinner and then click away. Let's rotate it first and then move it into place. So select it, then we want to rotate it. So I'm going to use the red circle for this. That looks about right. And then select, click on move, and we can actually just drag it along to sit just at the side of the body. We need an exact copy of this flipped vertically. So let's select our one arm, copy, and then paste. Drag the second one along. We now want to flip it vertically. So right click, mirror, Y global. This flips it, and we can then just drag that one into place as well. Now the arms, I'd like to also be the same color as the eyes and the buttons. So let's select one of the arms, go for material, browse the material to be linked, and we're going for the coal look again. Let's then do the same with the other arm, select, material, and again let's go for coal. Okay. Now as things stand, we've now got a snowman, a coloured snowman. We could do with a surface for it to sit on. So to do this, add, mesh, plane. For the moment, I'm going to move the plane away from the snowman. So select the plane and move it to the side for the moment. I'm then going to select all of the objects that form the snowman, and I want to move everything upwards so it's going to be sitting on the plane. Now let's move the plane back in place. Let's first zoom out, and then we wish to scale the plane. We want to make the plane much bigger. So keep your mouse quite close to your plane, press S, and then start dragging outwards. The plane would like to be a green color, so while it's selected, select material, new, and this time the base color we want to be a green color. Maybe something like that. Next, let's zoom back in again. The only thing we could do with now is just moving all of the snowman further forward so that all of it appears on the green background, and also that we can see the relevant shadowing. To do this, let's make the green plane larger. Easiest way to do that would be to zoom out, select the plane, with your mouse fairly close to the plane, press S, and then drag outwards to make the plane bigger. Now if we zoom back in again by rolling the mouse wheel forward, and now we have our beautifully presented 3D snowman. We can even see the lovely shadowing, And if we finally rotate, let's see what it looks like from a side view, from the back, and then let's look at the other side view. And there we have it. Okay, now it's your turn to have a go. Best of luck with it, and see you next time.